Oh, yeah. What up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A Switch, aka the undefeated. Can't even say undefeated, but uh, man, probably the top 10 percentile that has beaten Elatreon. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's okay. Hold your applause. Hold your excitement. It's okay. Contain it. It's a tremendous feat, I know. AKA the 120 time social distancing champion, AKA the burrito bandit. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sites, the gaming podcast where I talk about just that. Man, it's been a lot that has transpired since last episode. Jesus, a lot of gaming news that has come out, trickled out, if you will. Probably one of the things I'm kind of annoyed by in general with the I just wish we kind of had something similar to E3 at least, where we just get like a full load of just gaming news in one, like, I guess, concentrated time frame rather than just all this news trickling out ever so slowly. It feels like maybe the pandemic is kind of contributing to that, but either way, yeah. So, the world is still the world. People still not listening, and one of the states with the highest rates of infected people. So, that's great. That's good. So yeah. So without further ado, let's stop the dilly dallying and get right into it. First topic of discussion. Earlier this week, PlayStation revealed some of the details regarding the PlayStation 4 compatibility, which was kind of up in the air for the most part. But at least we finally got some deets regarding it. So one of the first ones is that the DualShock 4 will be compatible with the PlayStation 5, but with one big caveat, that it will only work with PlayStation 5 games. So what this means is that you can't use a PlayStation 4 controller with a PlayStation 5 game. If you want to play a PlayStation 5 game, you have to use a PS5 controller. But if you're playing a PlayStation 4 game that's backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5, then fair game. No problem there. Also, PSVR and officially licensed peripherals will be compatible as well. It seems like those will understandably have a further compatibility with PS5, which makes sense because I believe their reason was that they said they wanted players to utilize the full capabilities of the DualSense for PlayStation 5 games. So totally fine. I'm kind of curious if maybe there might be game specific exceptions. Like some games may let you actually use the PS4 controller if it doesn't need the touchpad or particular additional features with the DualSense, which I'm kind of suspecting because a lot of people have a fair amount of PlayStation 4 controllers and would like to utilize those. With this next generation, and then on top of that, these controllers are going to be pretty expensive. I think they're going to be like $80 now, which is a big jump from the current gen, which is like, I guess generally, I mean, you can get it on sale pretty often, but like I want to say $60 to $40 range. So, you know, but all in all, at least it's good that you can at least play the actual generation before PlayStation 5 with the controller, which makes sense because it'll have full complete compatibility in that way. So there is that. Um and then somewhat diving into rumor territory pertaining to the same thing. Uh from Lance McDonald from Twitter, reputable source for the most part. But again, grain of salt in terms of this is some rumor territory. The PlayStation 5 can run all PlayStation 4 games without per game whitelisting. So what that means basically is that um, generally, at least kind of how Microsoft handles the backwards compatibility thing, I think there's a whole process they have to go through. I would assume like some licensing is involved to an extent as well. But if the after testing and the game is fully playable on the Xbox One X or original one, then you can straight up play the game right. Shortly after, whenever they roll the updates out that lets you play the game on the Xbox. But at least here, basically they're saying technically all the PlayStation 4 games can run on PlayStation 5, with the, obvious caveat that maybe some of them might not run properly, but technically they can boot up and run more or less. So that's kind of good to hear that at least it'll kind of help alleviate some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Alleviate some of the potential delay in terms of trickling some of these compatible games out or whatever. So, but all in all, pretty interesting stuff. It's good to get some type of confirmation. It would be really great. Maybe I feel like it's a pipe dream at this point, but PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 compatibility would be awesome. But we'll see. Maybe last minute announcement or something like that. Who knows? Yeah. So, another very interesting and admittedly very controversial news tidbit that came out this week was that game Avengers that has all these iconic superheroes that everybody knows and loves and wants to play. Well, about that. Um, so, Crystal Dynamics, in partnership with Square Enix, I believe, started revealing some characters that were being able to be played, or that will be able to be played in addition to the main cast on the Avengers game. I think one was Nighthawk. Hawkeye? Getting that mixed up. Hawkeye, the coveted Archist. What's the term for the person that's very good with bows? I thought it's something archeryist. I don't know. You get what I'm saying though. But yeah, in addition to him, of which he's available to all platforms, they actually revealed that Spidey, one of the most popular superheroes of all time, Spiderman, will be added with the game as well, post launch, but with a very huge caveat, depending on whatever platform you're on. So, unfortunately, Spider-Man will be exclusive to PlayStation systems, and you cannot play him on Xbox, on PC at all. No timed exclusivity, Nothing. So pretty much, if you don't have PlayStation, you can't play Spider-Man, which is, man, that is like one of the biggest FUs to people that aren't on PlayStation, if I ever could think of it. I mean, because it's one thing if it's like in this case like Hawkeye, which is probably one of the lesser popular Avengers characters, and maybe have him exclusive, or something like that. But to have one of the most notable, iconic Avengers superheroes um exclusive to PlayStation is like, I don't, it just, I mean, as even speaking as somebody who is a multi-platform owner, is just it just does not sit right with me personally. um it just feels like a half-assed way. I mean, it really just feels like the game is lesser if you don't get it on PlayStation, because he's such an iconic character that of course you want to play as. Um, and just the fact that if I wanted to play on Xbox, I can't even access one of the coolest characters in the game is really messed up. Really, there's really no way you can slice it or dice it. It just smells of and reeks of bad business practice. And yeah, man, just like if you want to get the Xbox or PC version, you are gonna have a significantly inferior version, not having this awesome ass character in the game, which is just, yeah, just as somebody who has the opportunity to, get this game on that platform, uh really messed up. But especially as somebody who only has an Xbox or a PC, and knowing this game's available, they won't be able to access this character is just really messed up, man. And then on top of that, it's like, I mean, to me personally, it's like you might as well not even release the game on those platforms if you're not even gonna have the most iconic superhero character appear on those platforms. No, I'm curious if this possibly has something to do with the Insomniac Marvel games, or I guess technically the games when Miles Morales comes out with the PS5. But I'm curious if there's some Marvel exclusivity clause or whatever, in the same manner as I guess the movies, technically, maybe something like that, that something legally that maybe otherwise Spider-Man wouldn't be a character, but consider maybe potentially PlayStation's exclusivity with maybe Spider-Man specifically, that may be warranted, or allowed them to do something like this. Maybe that's the only thing I could think of, because otherwise, I don't know. That just spells just shitty practice all around, man. Just for one of the best characters that you would want to play for sure over a lot of the main cast is really messed up. Really is. So hopefully, I don't know, Crystal Dynamics responds to his feedback. Maybe we get a press conference announcement like 2 months from now. Oh no, well the game is about to come out in like a month, but I guess they could still turn it around because he's a post-launch character. But 2 months come around, you're like, guys, we've heard you. Spider-Man will now be multi-platform. Like, yeah, yeah, but then you think in the back of your head, like, why didn't you do that in the first place? But who knows? In an ideal world, maybe they would have that announce him actually being multi-platform, and maybe explaining the reasoning a little bit of why they did that or whatever. So in an ideal world, that would be would be great, but we'll see. All in all, man, yeah, this is probably one of the worst exclusivity deals I've seen in a while. Just like completely shutting off a game, a very popular character to one platform just feels a little too grimy for me. It's one thing if it was maybe a C tier, B tier, maybe a character, but this character is like straight up S tier in general from like uh pop culture standpoint. So boy, Crystal Dynamics, what's going on, man? What is going on? Crazy. Anyway, moving on. Just earlier today, um whatchamacallit had the state of play, Sony. So I'm not gonna go into a lot of it, but want to cover some of the particular topics or games that were mentioned in that state of play that I found interesting personally. Oh, and real quick, like on top of the exclusivity with the Spider-Man, there's even like cosmetics and yeah, a lot of cosmetics, exclusive packs and stuff, gold, in-game currency for the game only if you get the game on PlayStation. So it's like, why even? They might as well have just had it exclusively for PlayStation overall. But I digress. But yeah, so state of play happened earlier today. Pretty much tempered some expectations. No big PS5 info. Don't get your hopes up. Still no damn price. But some little trinkets of gold were found in there. Just want to highlight a couple of those. The first one is the Hitman trilogy. Probably a big unexpected announcement out of nowhere is that you can play the entire Hitman trilogy in VR mode, which is pretty cool. That actually might be what I need to highly consider going into VR because yeah, man, it's great. That just sounds great. Just using a cable wire on people's necks, pushing them off, and then just seeing them fall all the way down in VR. Um, feel like that might be too visceral in some cases, but anyway, anyway. Um, Next, Control coming out with expansion 2, the pretty much the highly anticipated and highly, I guess, suspected Alan Wake DLC, which pretty much is confirmed that at least in the trailer that the guy at the end is Alan Wake. So as an Alan Wake fan, overall Remedy fan, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Seems super weird or even weirder than what it was when I played it back in last year. But yeah, I am hyped. August 27th too. Pretty damn close. Just saying. So that was pretty unexpected, but appreciated either way. Then next, kind of lead into somewhat of a bigger controversy. Aeon, I think, was the game All Aeon Must Die. So this game looked pretty interesting. It's like a beat 'em up, artistic, a beat 'em up with a more artistic direction. But after the fact, after the trailer was shown, it seemed to be that like a lot more controversy was tied to it. That apparently the dev team that worked on this game, pretty much everybody quit the studio, pretty much the week before due to crunch and lack of payments. And then the trailer was outsourced to artists without contracts, according to Twitter user Callie Bruno. So totally left out of nowhere, left field, um, and really messed up because it looked pretty good, but considering all this stigma behind it, that until they resolve it or fix it, do good with the people that originally made the game or give the game to them. I'm not sure how those dynamics are played out. I would assume the people that were involved in developing it aren't involved anymore or something like that. But um yeah, man, that's got muddy, nasty nastiness all over it, which is unfortunate because that's messed up if true. Um, but I mean, in gaming's environment today, like I wouldn't put it past the company to do something that messed up. So hope everything works out for all the affected team members working on that game, and maybe something gets worked out. But I don't know, considering this whole controversy and stigma around this game now because of the mishandled management in the background, that's a no for me. The no for me on that. Um, and that was pretty much a lot of the standout things for the state of play. I guess a couple of quick tidbits. They showed a little bit of bug snacks in more detail. What else? I'm trying to remember anything notable. Braid Remastered, the one game I think that came out on the Xbox way back. Looking pretty good. I've never played that one. Um, but I did like the cool mechanic involving time and stuff, which seemed pretty interesting. But for so there was that. It looked pretty good. They like did a lot of retouching and like painting of some of the assets and environments now, so they look more, better for HD 4K resolution. Who knows what the actual resolution for that is? They showed Godfall. Looked okay. I mean, nothing that blew my mind or anything, but looked pretty solid if anything. So that was decent. What else? I think that's all at least that comes to mind. Yeah, it wasn't really anything outside of that really caught my attention at least. But yeah, at least with that, including the highlights that I um pointed out. Overall, fairly solid state of play, obviously, with the omission of this damn PlayStation 5 announcement that we still don't have a damn price or release date, which would be great. Hopefully, Microsoft or Sony shows their cards. Yep, stop playing this damn hard ass game of chicken because it's been going for who knows how long now. But I mean, I would assume by at least by the end of August, we got to get a price and date because it, they're about to be coming out like what 4 months from now. So something's got to give. Somebody's got to throw in the towel, or maybe they have like a mutual, meeting, and then they both agree on a same price or something. But then again, who knows? One might just undercut them and just betray them overall. So moving on. My notes. 24 is solid. Halo Infinite. Man, the bad the bad reputation this game has got so far before even coming out with the graphical discrepancies, if you will. But at least one bonus or good side of it is that at least Halo Infinite multiplayer, they did announce, will be free to play. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, somebody who's a huge fan of Halo. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, for it to be free to play, I It's even better. I'm curious if how Xbox Game Pass comes into play with this. If maybe to compensate for the game being free to play, that I would assume maybe because you're if you are a Game Pass member, maybe you get some additional bonus or skin or something like that. Um, but all in all, pretty dope. Oh, and I forgot, probably the biggest, coolest factor is at 120 frames per second. Um, tastes like butter. So smooth, so smooth. So oh yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. 120 frames. Man, that's PC Master Race frames. Well, I could say that, but somebody, excuse me. Actually, that's 240. Thank you. So either way, definitely looking forward to that. So that's gonna be pretty dope. It's good to get some confirmation. Hopefully, there's a beta or something like that, but I don't know. Considering the huge backlash that the at least premiere trailer got, I don't even know, man. I feel like they might just go and hide in for a long time, and then maybe super close to the release of the game, that will probably maybe get a beta or something, at least closer to release or something like that. Or they might not, at least this round. Who knows? But can't have nice things because people don't like, or people purely focus on the graphics when we all know gameplay is really king. Yeah, I do stand by that. Keeping in with Halo news, also it was announced that the Halo Master Chief Collection will get crossplay at least before the end of the year in 2020. So between PC and Xbox One, which is pretty cool. I'm curious if this is strictly limited to the Xbox PC store or Xbox store via Windows and not Steam, or if Steam will be included. I would assume because Steam uses the same architecture essentially for it, I would assume that Steam might be involved as well, but we'll have to see. But either way, having crossplay between Xbox One and PC is always great. And then you can also, it does look like they're also uh, separating by input, or at least the term they're using, input based matchmaking. So what that means is that basically I could hook up a keyboard mouse to my Xbox One and play. I'll be matched with somebody else that has a mouse and keyboard, which will more than likely be either, you know, more than likely be more PC players, but potentially other people use a mouse and keyboard with Xbox One. For me, I don't know. Halo just always feels best with a controller. So that's at least what I'd be doing, either PC or Xbox One. But it's good that they at least separate the controller players from PC, because I noticed that, for the most part, you're generally at a huge disadvantage with controller versus um, mouse and keyboard. So all in all, loving these improvements. Just overall, loving the continued support for this game. It's especially considering the rough rocky launch that this game had initially coming out. Good to see this game actually get the love and attention it deserves because of just the pure ambition of what they seeked to accomplish with it. So, all in all, goodness all around. Moving on. Next topic, we'll be talking about the event that happened last Friday, which is the Japanese fighting game Roundtable. So this is pretty interesting. So obviously, due to the unfortunate and messed up events of Evo, well, that at least ultimately results in Evo getting canceled completely. Everybody pulling out because weirdos like seeing kids naked, which is just weird all around. But um, yeah, so it seems like Harada-san, I think somebody else from the Bandai Namco team rallied pretty much all of the fighting game devs that they knew, and got everybody to have, I guess, somewhat of a talk show slash announcement show called the Japan Fighting Game Publishers Roundtable. So I overall love the format of it, especially considering how I wouldn't want to say difficult, but I guess difficult in terms of the development of fighting games have been so far, specifically when it comes to netcode, online net play, and things like that, which they did touch on a fair amount in this roundtable. But overall, it was good to see the developers bouncing like ideas, concepts, challenges they faced, developing um, their most popular games and whatnot. Um, but all in all, I did really enjoy the discussion. It was in Japanese, but they did have, I think, the producer for Tekken 7, and I'm not sure the other guy. I think he was some overall fighting game personality, I think, where they were actively translating the whole show, or at least selectively translating for the most part. Sometimes the devs will probably be saying some stuff that maybe they shouldn't have been saying, and they were refraining from translating it. So either way, all in all, pretty great show. At the end, they did reveal a fair amount of announcements. Uh, at the same time, there was the opposite of that, where there were announcements for announcements. Looking at you, Street Fighter 5. Who else? Man, somebody else did it too. I think Guilty Gear, or yeah, I think SNK. I think SNK did an announcement of announcement. But yeah, at least all the people that were there, pretty much everybody was there. Arika, I keep forgetting the one developer for BlazBlue and Guilty Gear is not coming to me. Let me look it up real quick. Look it up. Arc System Works. Arc System Works. Koei Tecmo for Dead or Alive. Yeah, Bandai Namco, like I said, and Capcom with Street Fighter. So pretty much, generally the widespread gamut of fighting games with it was there, except except Smash, which that's a whole nother discussion if people even consider that a fighting game and not. Which I guess it's like its own subcategory under the fighting game category. I guess it feels like, but more or less he wasn't there. So there was that. Harada was being Harada, just trolling people. Had like various random photos of all of the team for whatever reason. It was funny though. At least found it funny. And then yeah, pretty much after that they got into the announcements toward the end. They revealed Guilty Gear, the two new characters. I think Leo Brandwolf, and then the black dude that was in the initial trailer. I forgot his name, but he was pretty dope. Like a bunny. Got the bunny mask on when he's ready. He's feral. He seemed to have a hint of a vampiric nature. Like maybe he was a descendant from Blade who learned the ways of the Ronin or something like that. I don't know. But all in all, he looks pretty dope. Definitely interested in playing him. What else? For Soul Calibur, they announced a new character. I think she's a returning character from season 3, or not season 3, but the third title the third Soul Calibur. Looked like she had a full makeover. I guess she used to have dark hair, now she has blonde hair. She utilizes her moveset with this umbrella slash sword thingy. So that was pretty cool. They did announce some patch updates and changes. I think fighting wise, they gave that you now have the option to keep your armor on visually. So you don't I guess apparently that was a problem for a fair amount of players that I guess I would assume maybe it just is too distracting with your armor flying off with each attack or getting hit. So there was that. Then yeah, Street Fighter with just the disappointing announcement to an announcement. So then there they announced, oh yeah, we'll have announcement on basically this week that the direction of season 5. Well, I guess there was that. I think they did at least announce that there will be a season 5. So yeah, I can at least somewhat give them that, but it was still like a big tease, especially, this the show that everybody was anticipating all the big announcements to be at. But no, they just wanted to keep it to themselves. How dare they? What else after that? Akira, Arika, I want to say they announced just a patch and just a sale regarding the game. That now the game does have rollback netcode, which is pretty cool. May actually tempt me to try it out. They didn't announce any new characters for sure. There. And then the only other one that comes to mind, I guess they touched Koei Tecmo. They talked about just Dead or Alive in general, how the game is doing really good and people are downloading at least the free version. So pretty much all they did with their spotlight. SNK, they did kind of tease that they maybe were going to announce something for King of Fighters 15, but I guess maybe due to COVID they said no or did not, or something like that. So at least that's somewhat of a semi confirmation that it is in the works. Then yeah, a weird thing that happened regarding the main developer director for Dragon Ball Fighters. That I guess it was kind of messed up that he just straight put her business all out there. But he said like, yeah, she's just getting really overweight and I guess self-conscious about it or something like that. At least that's the impression I got. But I was like, that is cold, man. Just putting her out in the open like that. But I'm like, all right. Either way, so that explains why she didn't make it. And for Harada, probably last but not least, he revealed that yes, season 4, bitches, in season 4. They said they're made a lot of balance changes, and on top of that, they did tease a new character, which it still not Kiryu, which hurts a little bit. So yeah, they at least they teased the new character. It everybody's saying it looks just like Kunimitsu from I think her last appearance was technically Tekken Tag 2, but before that was Tekken Tag or Tekken 2. So still disappointing. Somebody was commenting when we were watching it. It was like Ninja Kiryu. Oh yes, Ninja Woman Kiryu. Love it. All right, I'm in. So disappointing. I'm disappointed. But hey, they didn't reveal any other further characters, so there's still always a chance. Cue the Dumb and Dumber gif. Yeah, outside of that, I think that was pretty much it for the the Game Publishers Roundtable, Japanese Game Publishers Roundtable. All in all, yeah, I love the direction. I love the potential of the show. I know they were talking about trying to do another one or even a tournament. All in all, I'd be pretty interested to watch all of those just to get more in-depth information to explain why these people are having or run into, I guess specifically the network issues they're running into, which this is fascinating from that standpoint. But in terms of just of course the trials and tribulations of development of a fighting game and stuff like that, which I'm sure if the format of the show continues and they're able to get all these devs together for just a certain period of time every week, um it would make sense. So I guess also piggybacking off those announcements of announcements, at least now after the fact, we actually got the details for the season 5 roadmap. So the one in particular, at least the first character in winter 2020, will be Dan Hibiki, the weak one. I don't know his official nickname, but one of the joke offensive characters in the game, or AKA the people that are way better than certain players and maybe play them. At least in my experience, it's always been a joke to like offend people. Like, oh man, you getting your ass beat by Dan? Oh man, you must really suck and stuff like that. So, but then in spring we get Rose making a return from Street Fighter 4. She's not really my character type in terms of just her play style, but she looks interesting either way. Then for summer 2021, you got Oro. I know he was leaked a while back, but he looks like now he's been confirmed. I thought at first because he has his two arms exposed, was that maybe he would just play totally different. But now seeing, at least specifically in the screenshot, and I think in the in-game cutscenes, is that he has this big ass turtle on his one hand now, instead of it, I guess, being completely. I always thought it was cut off or ripped off somehow, but I guess apparently it's fully intact. So there you go. Um, so Oro, I'm very curious to see how he plays, especially how he handles. I believe in some of the blogs they say he will be balancing the turtle pretty much during his whole, I guess, fight, which is interesting dynamic to, at least animation wise, have a character kind of move in that fashion, or move in conjunction with doing attacks at the same time. So yeah, very interesting. And then last but certainly not least, a lot of people have been talking about it, wanting it. They finally crossed over rival schools with Street Fighter, and based off that, we got Akira Nakayama putting in work, girl, putting in work. So, she seems pretty cool. I mean, well, I guess we didn't see any characters outside of Dan. It was pretty rough. It was like a screen capture of the TV, but yeah, yeah. But yeah, what's very weird is that this timeline is very unusual, which led to a lot of people suspecting that there must have been some turmoil at Capcom regarding the development of Street Fighter 6, which I don't have that, but basically I think the general main producer for Street Fighter, at least 5 earlier in the season, Yoshinori Ono, I believe, who's been associated with so many Street Fighter titles beforehand, apparently did a horrible job with the development of Street Fighter 6, that like through beta testing, play testing, and internally wasn't well received so far. So I believe they said he got demoted, and then they had somebody else step up, and then because Six was supposed to be ready, I believe, by the end of this year, and it wasn't. They went ahead and just to appease fans, do a season, um, whatchamacallit, do a season additional season, season 5. So that definitely explains why this timeline is very far away, at least how all the characters are spread out. But all in all, I'm definitely interested, if anything. So super weird though, super duper weird. And at least touching further on that Tekken 7 announcement with season 4. Um, I think a couple things that I think were notable, at least from the trailer specifically. Probably the biggest one is a freaking Wi-Fi indicator. Thank you, Harada-san. So, I would assume most people know that when it comes to internet speeds, what have you, wired is always essentially the best. That's just always the rule to go by. You can generally get them pretty long and stuff like that. Um, so yeah. So at least now, Wi-Fi warriors, Wi-Fi warriors, RIP. Um, if you're trying to match for a game, it'll actually show if the player is playing wireless or wired, which is really cool. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure where I was going with that. I guess that was really it. They also said they're making balance changes as addition as well. So going to be further changes, buffs, debuffs, and stuff like that, of course. So, but all in all, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. Very excited for season 4 and the potential that the Kiryu can still live on and the dragon may arise again. So, if anything, I would assume it'd probably be just the last character to probably get pushed out, but who knows? But I mean, it's like all the stars are aligning, man. At least the one valid argument people could have with Kiryu being a guest character is that he's only on PlayStation, which now is not even the case anymore. He's on PC, one through Kiwami 2, I believe. The same for Xbox. So now that's out of the question. So now he's on all triple platforms. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, man. At least that that name indicator would or connection indicator is a godsend. I loved the hell out of it on Mortal Kombat, because generally it was very indicative of if the match is just gonna suck or not, especially with Wi-Fi, with very inconsistent Wi-Fi speeds. So but yeah, that pretty much is all the highlights, if anything, for the Japanese Roundtable. Overall, pretty good show. At least, excluding some of the announcements for announcements, which is just, why not just announce it now? But I get it. Maybe they want to prepare the directs. The logistics are harder to iron out, at least in my situation. Probably anything like that. So, next topic of discussion. Freaking Travis touchdown. So, over this weekend, No More Heroes 3 was found to be rated for Nintendo Switch. This is via Gamatsu. So, I think it's pretty much a given that No More Heroes 3 is coming, baby. So, Moe. I'm probably one of the biggest fans of No More Heroes out there, so I'm very excited for this, especially for a lot of fans that missed out on the Wii version. Get another chance, especially with 3 coming out, which always just props up that weird, I don't even know how to describe it, this weird space where it's like, you want to play this game. I'm not even sure where I was going with that. The weird space where the third version is coming out, you want to catch up, and ideally with Grasshopper and Suda doing it in time, or releasing these games in time before No More Heroes 3 comes out, hopefully before, if it doesn't get delayed. But all in all, pretty interesting prospect either way. But it feels good to finally get confirmation. Best believe I'm playing this damn game again and again and again, because it's up there. It's definitely up there, one of my favorite games of all time. But I guess I'm curious to see how they're gonna treat 2. I guess it seems like if this is the case, they might treat the games as separate releases, or maybe they might be bundling them. Who knows? That maybe either way, it definitely leads to Suda making some breakthroughs in logistics and like licensing to get his game to be ported, which rightfully so. So but yeah, man, that was one of the best news stories I've heard. And even like further, I guess, credence to that rumor, at least currently, at least, is that um Robert Atkin Downs, the voice actor of Travis Touchdown, is he retweeted that tweet about No More Heroes getting rated. So it's like it's all but it's all but confirmed at this point. So still great to hear. And that leads me to an interesting theory now. I know a fair amount of people, including myself, would like Travis Touchdown in Smash. We already got the ARMS character. I think they said something about Nintendo characters. I don't think they put themselves in a box like that, but I feel like the only logical next character to add, at least that I could think of right now, is Travis Touchdown, which would be freaking awesome. Just to have this and cross promote it with the No More Heroes games coming out, and thereby increase the sales of No More Heroes 3 when that comes out. All in all, a solid plan, man. So it's great. Just great. It's great. I'm so excited for that. Just gotta contain it. Next topic we'll talk about is Battletoads. We finally got a new trailer as well as a release date, which is pretty much, I think, August 23rd. What does that fall on? That might not be accurate. Might not be accurate. Might not be accurate. It's on a Sunday. I think it's the 26th, which is a Wednesday. I think that might be it. But either way, Battletoads is coming this month, so I'm all for it. Love me some Battletoads. One of the nostalgic series from back in the day. I've always loved it. Said it seems to be keeping the same difficulty and pretty much all of that. So it's good to hear. It's weird. I guess they're taking the anime route. Like it feels like this is they're trying to prop this for another cartoon series. Like I guess back in the day, should be interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie, but all in all, I mean they're still keeping the artistic style, which is not my favorite, but I understand it and can accept it. But especially if the gameplay is real good. But yeah, all in all, looks like out of nowhere it's solid and ready to go. So a little weird that it missed the Xbox Game Showcase, because that's the one I was looking forward to. But I guess it's like, oh no, sorry, we're right behind you. All right, we're here. All right, yeah. So anyway, so that covers all the news for this week. So let's get into what I've been playing. which is probably a pretty big, I say, event. I guess that I alluded to earlier before the show, which is Monster Hunter World. So I think I talked about it last episode, Monster Hunter World. Um, this bitch Elatrion was not gonna get away with wasting our time. So we did what we had to do and we fought. We fought our hearts out. So went over a friend's place this past weekend and we we was grinding. We was grinding, getting stronger, getting better, getting ready for this fight with Elatrion. And pretty much after about two to four attempts, I think 4 attempts, I kept getting carded because I made a technical mistake in terms of my build. I normally am used and accustomed to having a higher health health threshold or health in general, which I didn't, and I kept getting my ass whooped. But that final time, we fucking beat him. I'm curious to see the percentage of people that beat him, because yeah, he is no damn joke. He will beat your ass and not feel bad about it, and then beat your ass more. So there's that. There's that. So beat his ass. Felt good. Felt great. Felt like we were on top of the world. Nothing could beat us. Nothing could stop us. And that's, you couldn't tell us otherwise. So yeah, that was pretty much the whole weekend for the most part. Playing that, getting good, and yeah, ranking up to beat his ass, which we did, thank God. So now I feel better. Now I don't feel lesser of a Monster Hunter player now that has been completed. Outside of that, in terms of the grinding, was doing like some guiding lands, getting my rank up. I'm still like under level 70. I think I'm 66 currently. So I kind of want to get that up at least to 70, or at least if I'm feeling it, trying to make it to 100. But yeah, that's been the trials and tribulations, mainly for the most of the week I've been through. But in addition to that, also been playing some Gundam Extreme versus Boost Max on, which I think I briefly talked about before. But good God, man, game is pretty good, I have to say. Especially like one of the most probably irrelevant features to some, but to me, it's like a damn, I don't even know how to describe it, like a deal, freaking seal in a deal, which is custom soundtracks. One of the best features, one of my most favorite features from the Xbox days is comeback, where you can basically copy songs to USB drive and then upload them. The I guess limitations seem to be very finicky or undefined, because it seemed like it's not really certain what variables prevent you from uploading all your songs, because I've tried it a few times and it'll keep giving you an error that some of the songs weren't able to be uploaded. So not sure if it's a like size limit or time limit or something like that, but just something to be aware of if you're trying to mess around with custom soundtracks with the game. But either way, I got most of the songs I wanted to get on there and had a blast kind of messing with them. So yeah, so that pretty much was it there. Playing the single player mode, which is great. Thoroughly enjoying it. Um Trying to learn the fundamentals in general, because like my friends, they're pretty versed on it, but trying to get acclimated, trying to find my favorite Gundams. That's the biggest thing, but like it is freaking daunting with like damn near like I feels like 90 Gundams to kind of pick and choose across. So at least what I've been doing is just like going to the dojo or the training room and just messing with each character, getting a concept of their combos, their moves, and kind of their arsenal of attacks and stuff. So all in all, thoroughly enjoying it though. But outside of that, have not played much else. Haven't watched anything significant as well. Plan to change that soon. So, especially Modern Warfare season 5. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk to you guys about that next episode. But yeah. Outside of that, I think that's it, and I think that'll conclude this episode of Switch's Sights, 67. Episode 67. I think I'm not sure if I stated the date. Is August 6th, 2020. But yeah, if you want to catch me record this live on Twitch TV/aswitch, I do record it live, ideally 4 to 5 p.m. So that's something to look forward to. If you want to watch the archive of this show, which I do upload every Friday at 6 a.m. On youtube.com/aswitch. There's that, along with other various video content, gaming related, of course. So, who knows? Feeling like it, may upload some original other content I haven't got up there yet. As well, same for Twitch. May actually start streaming games. We'll see. So, also, if you're listening to this podcast on your favorite podcasting platforms, feel free to like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Any feedback is appreciated, good or bad. If you have any questions you'd like to submit to the show, you can submit those at aswitchtv@gmail.com. And I think I actually fully confidently, I think, said everything. Oh yeah. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at aswitch as well, where I tweet ignorant black man stuff as well as gaming stuff. So a combination of both, I guess, just to give you an idea. But yeah, guys, I think that will do it. Hope everybody's being safe. Hope everybody's not getting infected, considering our times and some of these people that are over us that are making the right decisions. But yeah. Till next time, guys. Don't cough. Don't touch people that don't want to be touched. And get your game on. Oh yeah.